Let's take some of the knowledge that we've accumulated to do a comparison. And what we're going to compare is the information found in a table and the information that's given to us in an equation. So Josh and Maggie are buying MP3 files from different music services. The monthly cost y dollars for X songs is linear, important information. The cost of Josh's service is y equals 0.50x plus 10. The cost of Maggie's service is shown below in the table. We'll get to that in a minute. We need to do a few things. It says write an equation to represent the monthly cost of Maggie's service. Then find which service is cheaper when 30 songs are downloaded. Then find which service is cheaper. Did I write the question twice? I sure did. Good Lord. Get it together, Taylor. What are you doing? We're gonna find which service is cheaper twice. Okay. So this is a live edit here. Okay, there we go. So we're going to find which service is cheaper when 30 songs are downloaded one time. So we're given the equation for Josh, which is nice. Let's go ahead and just write that over to the side just so we've got it ready to go. How much it costs Josh. So Josh is, let's make our pen a little thicker here. Josh is y equals 0.50x plus 10. Okay. We need to write an equation for Maggie, how much it's going to cost Maggie to get 30 songs. We need an equation for that because what we're going to do, since the problem says X is the songs, is we're going to substitute 30 in for X. So when I look at the table for Maggie, I see 25 songs is $24.75. So whatever the answer is, I know it's going to be a little bit higher than $24.75. Okay, so we got to write an equation for Maggie. Writing an equation when we know it's linear and the problem says the cost is linear means I'm going with good old slope-intercept form. Need slope and y-intercept. Unfortunately, the table does not give me y-intercept. It does not tell me the cost of 0 songs. We kind of think that the cost is going to be 0, right? If I buy 0 songs, it costs $0. That's not the case for Josh, though. Josh has a y-intercept of 10, which seems to indicate his music service, at least, charges some kind of subscription fee. Does Maggie's music service also charge a subscription fee? We don't know. Let's find out. So the first thing we have to find is slope, which we find by getting the change in y over the change in x. And to do that, we need 2 points. We can, of course, use any 2 points that we want. And when you're allowed to choose points, we want to choose the easiest 2 to work with. No matter which 2 coordinate pairs we choose, we're going to have to deal with decimals, I'm sorry to say, because all of the costs have decimals. So we're stuck using decimals. Let's at least go ahead and get the smallest numbers. So let's use 5 and 495. We'll use that as one of our XY pairs. And then we'll use 10 and 990. Okay, so Y coordinates are going to be the 990 and 495. Let's figure out what the change was in there, meaning what did we go up by when we went from 495 to 990? And the way we're going to do that math, of course, is by doing 990 minus 495. Take our second y and subtract the first y. So 990 minus 495 is 495. And what did the x change by? If we went from 5 songs to 10 songs, of course we changed by 5. 10 minus 5 turns out is 5. What do you know? And the way we're going to figure out the slope is by doing 495 divided by 5. Probably going to want to use a calculator for this one, but it turns out it is 0.99, which means, I'm just going to put a little parenthetical here, we're paying 99 cents per song under Maggie's plan. 99 cents per song. Great. So what are we paying as a subscription fee, if anything? Now, you maybe already know what the subscription fee is. Whenever we wrote this right here that it was $4.95 for 5 songs, maybe right then you could tell already what the subscription fee was going to be. But if you couldn't, here's how we figure it out. We go y equals mx plus b. We know that the m is going to be 99 cents. So we'll do 0.99 for the m. And then we need an x and a y to substitute so that we can solve for b. And again, we can use any x and y we want. So let's use our smallest one, 5 and 4.95. So let's use yellow for the x, and let's go ahead and use red for the y. I like to use different colors when I substitute this in, just so I can make sure I keep them straight, which is which. So I'm going to do y equals, so 4.95 equals, and then here comes my m, which we found out was 0.99. Then we're going to replace the x, which in our problem is 5. I'm using yellow for my x there, 5 plus b. Okay, so here's how we're going to figure out what b is. 0.99 times 5, you may already know, if we go back and look at this, if 495 divided by 5 was 0.99, then 0.99 times 5, I dare say, is going to be 495. Hmm, 495 plus what is 495? 495 plus what is 495? That's a tricky one. Could be anything. But, of course, it's not anything. It's 0. So our b value is 0, which means $0 subscription fee or subscription cost or whatever. So that means our guy, I already forgot his name, Josh. Our guy Josh pays a $10 subscription fee, but his songs are cheaper. He only pays 50 cents a song. Maggie, on the other hand, and let's go ahead and put her equation up here. Maggie does not pay a subscription fee, but her songs cost a little more. They cost 99 cents. So her equation is y equals 0.99x. And we can put the plus 0 on the end, but we don't really need the plus 0 is not required. So 0.99x plus 0. So if I was only going to buy a few songs, Maggie would be the way to go, right? I would use Maggie's plan if I just wanted to buy a few, because then I don't have to pay the $10 subscription fee. If I was going to buy a whole lot of songs, if I was going to buy a ton of them, like hundreds, Josh would be the way to go. I would have to pay the subscription fee, but the subscription fee would be worth it because I would get that lower price on all the songs. But what if I'm only going to get 30? So let's figure that out. And the way we're going to figure that out is replacing the x with 30. So let's take Josh's equation, and we're going to plug in 30 for x. So 0.5 times 30 is 15. 0.5 is a half, so half of 30, 15. So 25. So what this means is Josh pays $25 for 30 songs. Okay, what about Maggie? What about Maggie for the same amount? Now, I suspect Maggie is going to be quite a bit more than that. And the reason I suspect that is because Maggie was almost at $25. She was at $24.75 just for 25 songs. So I suspect going up to 30 songs is going to put her way above $25. So I suspect Josh is going to come out ahead here. But we'll go ahead and do the math just to prove it. It's important to prove our hypothesis. So Maggie is 0.99 times 30. And again, we probably want a calculator to do 0.99 times 30. That's going to be $29.70. Oops. So Maggie pays $29.70 for 30 songs. Now the problem asked us which service is cheaper when 30 songs are purchased. We have not directly answered the question. We have proven the answer to the question, but let's go ahead and just explicitly say it. We showed Josh pays less, but let's just go ahead and actually write out the answer, which is Josh pays, and let's, you know what, let's not even say less. Let's say how much less. Josh pays $4.70 less. Let's give a really great answer. Josh pays $4.70 less for 30 songs. It'd be okay to say Josh pays less, but come on, let's really impress the ladies at the next math party. Let's give a really great answer. He pays $4.70 less for 30 songs. So what we've done here is we took an equation for Josh that we were just given. We were given the equation for Josh. We then created an equation for Maggie using the table that we were given. And then once we had those two equations, we used the equations to answer a question, which was which one of these two things is better in this specific case.